Boom! We're back. Squeeze the
let's
neck
go.
with my new mate, Pedro Sedso.
Nice one,
Bosh,
brother.
thanks for doing this, mate. I appreciate you for having me down. Umbra Performance. I
Yeah.
pronounced it twice. I messed it up once.
No,
got it this
that's
one.
it, man, that's it.
But tell us about who you are and where we are, mate, and we go deep.
Okay, so, well, who am I? Basically, I'm Polish. I was born in Poland, moving to England in 2011. I went through a path of going into different arts. So I haven't worked since 2014. I've always been self-employed. I've done like music clubs when I used to DJ. I've done all kind of work in like a promo events and stuff like this. Technician as well. It's like everyone laughs at me like, oh, you've done all kind of jobs, which I practically did, you know. At the moment where I am right now, fast forward, I have media company, so I do just filming, photography, social media, and obviously the biggest part of everything here is training. So I'm coming back from like a background of striking and Jet Kundo, you know, which is interesting because we had a chat with Dom the other day, you know, and he started going like really in a rabbit hole of JKD. I'm like, I didn't know it's quite big. He's like, yeah, Jet Kundo used to be big, man. So we used to train back in the day, like when we were 13, we used to go to the club and just, you know, do some striking. And I think those were days when someone trained Jiu Jitsu, if you heard it, it's like exclusive. It's like, oh, this guy's training on the mat. Like, you know, so I never done any Jiu Jitsu until I was 29.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I'm coming from a striking background, did boxing for like pretty much whole life. In Poland, we used to go and train normal classes, but we used to also spar in the park and drink vodka.
Okay, yeah.
It was literally like going to the bench in the park, grabbing boxing gloves, drinking vodka, doing one-on-one sparring and stuff like this. And you know, I went into grappling in 2000. It's going to be 8 years now.
Okay.
In December, it's going to be 8 years. Basically, my mate had an MMA fight. I was helping him with striking. We went there to the show in Brighton, and basically he got rear naked choked. He got caught by the guy first round. He was an amazing striker, went there with pretty much no grappling. So, okay, cool, you're rear naked. And then the fights carry on, I'm watching them. There's another kid which rear naked the guy in first round as well. And there's a third kid, which that was Jeffrey and that was Joe Johnston as well, my friends. And he did the same thing. So I was talking to someone, I was like, bro, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, they're from the same gym, you know? They're like, you know, they do jiu-jitsu with Ivan. I'm like, I've seen that gym, you know, like, you know, when you walk past the gyms, it's like they're always doing gi. They're walking like, just carry on.
They're doing karate, yeah.
Yeah, doing karate. Yeah. I was like, that gym, and literally, man, when first time, and I think it's like a very cliche story when you go to the gym, you get strangled and fucked up by some 15-year-old, and you're like, whoa, that's superpower, man. And that's how it just rolled into like 8 years after now, you know.
It's funny. What was the gym you walked past?
There was Ivan's gym, which is now One Jiu-Jitsu, but it was Ivan Maciel, BJJ.
Okay, it's funny because like I can really relate to your story a lot. Like I was a boxer first, then found like grappling after and that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know about your experience, but for me, and maybe it was a time thing as well. I started Jiu-Jitsu late 2014, I think.
Okay.
So, but it was like people knew what Jiu-Jitsu was by this point. It's not like one of the stories from the 90s where it was like no one knew and it was mystical.
Yeah, just underground fight club.
Yeah, we knew what it was, but it was kind of like where I was a boxer before that. I'm kind of like in that. I don't need that nonsense. That ain't gonna work. Do you know what I mean? That was my
same, man. And it's funny because I have a friend, a Polish friend, Tom, who has done jiu-jitsu longer than me. He's got a gym in Brighton, and we used to work in a club together. And he was a security, I was a DJ, so I always see him every night basically. And he used to be like, oh man, you need to come, man, and we've learned this new armbar, like you said. And I'm like looking, I was like, nah, bro, you know, that's gay, man.
I just punch him in the face.
It's
right?
like, it was the same. So I'm saying like, you, I was like, no, just like, oh no, we were doing this cool submission. I was like, armbar, man. It's like, come on, bro, like, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, fast forward 2-3 years, man, I'm there on the mat, just can't rid of me now, you know.
Yeah, that's it. I think there's a lot of people because and again, I've said this on here before. It's like with jiu-jitsu, it's different to like boxing because I don't know what your experience was like when you started, but you go to a boxing gym, you kind of get shown a bit, but a lot of it is kind of if you're any good, you can spar, and if you're still here, you can stay, sort of thing. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, you know, it's like day one. You're learning things, you know. Especially nowadays, there's actual beginners classes. I don't remember there being beginners classes when I started, but it was like,
true, yeah.
But you come in and it doesn't matter. You could roll with the black belt on day one. You're not going to get hurt because they're going to look after you. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Whereas you go with like the same day one boxing with like a black belt equivalent, it ain't gonna be a good day, is it? You're gonna get
I
punched.
think, with boxing, in this like it's such a two different sports, and there's lots of like a psychology to it. When you're like, when you get punched in the face, there's this like our nature is, if you're not trained, our nature is to fight, and you will get angry and stuff like this. In jiu-jitsu, you go to first class, you get choked out, you're just humbled.
Right.
It's
right.
it's so different. I'll say like when we talk about like sending kids, with friends and stuff to fight, to like any kind of martial arts, I was like, you're not gonna send your 5, 6, 7-year-old to boxing, man. Unless you're a professional boxer, you can take him through the path.
Right.
Send him to jiu-jitsu, send him to wrestling. He will know how to grapple. He will get humbled, but. It's such a two different sport if it comes to beginners, because like you said, like you will get annihilated in boxing,
right?
And also, like, I think the demographic is a bit different. There's more aggression, there's more testosterone in this.
The type of person that starts boxing is typically different as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It comes from a different background, and it's like you're doing it for, I don't know how to put it. It's like a different reason almost, isn't it? Like, for example, you can go into a jiu-jitsu club at, would you say you was 29?
I was 29, yeah.
29, you can go to a jiu-jitsu club at 29 and you're, come in, brother, and we train and you learn, right? Whereas if you go to a boxing club for the first time at 29, you can have a very different experience.
So true, man. I mean? So true. That's it. I never thought of that, actually, this angle. And yeah, it's just like a more, I don't know if it's the right word. It is more primitive sport in terms of like, the habitat of like fighting, like throwing, just, being rage, angry, like you can swing and stuff like this. When in jiu-jitsu, what are you going to swing? What you're going to do is just transfer, like.
Yeah, right.
You're not getting anything out of it. But when I think in boxing, like, if you swing and you're angry, you actually can get a lot out of it, if that makes sense. Unless you obviously, like, you're fighting some kind of professional, yeah. But yeah, it's two different sports. But I mean, I look at it like, I wish I started earlier. But probably, maybe I fell in love with it so much now that if I started earlier, maybe I wouldn't be that consistent.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I think it's one of them things, isn't it? It's like, you didn't start earlier, so you can think about starting earlier all you want, but
it's like
the reality is we're on
yeah.
the mat now. It is what it is, isn't it? You've got to carry on.
100%.
And we've got more access now as well, also, because like we can sit here now, if me and you train and you catch me with a certain submission, I can go on the phone and like look up what happened, and I can watch it and obsess about it. Whereas if you went back 20 years, there's no YouTube really. Right?
It's crazy. The level of jiu-jitsu now is just like, because I'm a bit like, I've trained for quite long now, so I look at a lot of like talents coming through now, especially younger guys, And even when I started, we already had instructional, because I've only trained like 7. This is 8th year now, so we already had instructionals. It's not like if someone started like 2008, you're like, no, bro, we just go into one guy, he shows us everything, right?
Right.
So like, but I can see like the level of just jiu-jitsu now, even over the blue belts, especially no gi. Gi is a bit different, in terms about no gi guys. Some of the like blue belts and stuff like this. See what they do, see how good their guard is, see how good their wrestling is. Just like, man, this has changed then. It changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just the level is higher because there's so much information.
Yeah.
And there's some kids in there, we always laugh, obviously, with autism, with autism. And they, all they do is watch fucking instructionals, man.
Well, listen, if you're 16 and you started jiu-jitsu at 6, you're still a blue belt, right? But you probably live at home. You don't have to worry about much. You just sit and train jiu-jitsu, and you've got 10 years experience.
Yeah.
It's a headache, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's a hard thing.
It's totally different level. And I love seeing that. And I the way I train, I'm humble. I always go through things like, I always put myself out there with positions when I roll. Like, I'm not competitive that much. I've got my certain style. I like to try new things, and stuff like this. But honestly, sometimes those younger guys, the way how they develop and how they learn and the lifestyle they get is like, it's just impressive,
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting what you say there about blue belts too. Like, what I encounter sometimes when I travel about different gyms and I drop in and stuff is you get guys that are blue belt level that are young.
Yeah.
And their rounded game, you would say, yeah, he's a good blue belt, but they've got like one fucking special power. Whereas like they've got one thing that they're like black belt level at, and they just keep going to it, and you're like, yo,
I agree.
This is
I agree.
headache.
The one big thing I see in those kind of highly, the early developed, like good grapplers, is that they don't have an awareness game. So that's the only game how I always get hold of everyone.
Right.
When they'll be a bit too technical, even I would say.
Yes.
When you're a bit too technical and you don't have an awareness game in terms of like which battles I pick.
Yeah.
So I see this like all the like young talents when I roll with them. I can still like, compromise them that way, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still like, you still haven't trained that long, you have all the techniques, but your body's not still aware in there,
Of course. And there's a physicality thing as a kid too, right? If you're 16, like the 16-year-olds that weigh the same, right? But a 16-year-old compared to a grown man physically is different.
Yeah,
isn't it,
you'll
you
be
know?
different.
You get a couple of freaks, there's some out there that you run into and you go, how old are you? You're only 16. They look like they're 25. But for the most part, a 16-year-old body is not the same as a 30-year-old body.
It won't be. But then the future is bright for these guys,
Well, that's,
of
yeah,
grappling,
because they're doing it technically now, right? So,
Yeah.
like, if they're 60 kilos and 16 against, I don't know, an 85-kilo grown man, by the time they are the 85-kilo grown man, and they've been through all that
the
technical
trouble starts,
beating,
yeah,
right?
that's
Oh,
all the
mate,
trouble.
it's trouble. Well, like, I've been in, and you have as well, long enough to see kids that were like little boys that are now late teens that are suddenly like, wow, okay.
Yeah, same. We've had few, like, guys, it's funny because, you see these kids like coming at 15 or 14, and then you look at them now, it's like 7 years, they're just adults, they're like boys, like they're not the same as well. It's like, fucking hell, man, you grew, man.
Yeah. We roll next round. Yeah. It's funny, but like, we go back a little step, mate. So, like, from Poland, like, what age did you start boxing?
I don't remember exact age. I remember like we used to go to park, and I was 16.
Right.
And then we start boxing then, just literally picking up gloves, doing stuff.
Right.
We had all the friends who were showing us stuff.
Yes.
Then, me and my mate, we used to go to club to do like proper classes with Jeet Kune Do and then boxing and everything. But then again, it was like once a week or something because of the money, we're not coming from the money, we're coming from like fucking proper poverty in there, And so yeah, it was, I think, 16. Then I came here and I was training regularly as well. I was training with, was always sparring Saturdays with all the boys I knew in here. We had some class. I was going to some classes as well. So yeah, I would say like from 15, 14 probably. 13 is what Jeet Kune Do came in.
Right. And what's Jeet Kune Do like for a class? Because like we all know people. I've experienced a little bit with good people, but I've also experienced some with people. You go, yeah, I do Jeet Kune. They're like grabbing your wrist, and you're like, come on. Bro.
No, I kid or not. That was a cool coach called Jarek. I remember him really well, and it was amazing. It was just striking, man.
Really? Okay.
It was no grappling in it.
Right.
It was just striking. It wasn't really any aikido or any kind of this kind of bullshit. Bullshit.
Right.
Maybe not as bullshit, but
You said it.
So it was that, but it was just literally striking. Just like typical. We were like obsessed with Bruce Lee.
Of course,
like all of us.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee, Dragon Ball, man. All the way,
Rocky. Come
that's
on,
it.
Come on,
that's
mention
it.
Rocky. Come on.
Yeah, Rocky as well. Yeah. So yeah, it was just basically striking, man. Just literally loads of kicking, loads of striking, combining boxing and kickboxing. That's how I remember it.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's why I still like. I don't do any striking anymore because I had like a very severe injury of my shoulder. That's when I quit everything. That's where grappling came in. So it kind of like everything kind of fall into the place. But I still got kicks, man. I still remember like all the like loads of combinations to go there. I don't do much parts and stuff, anything like that, but I still remember. It's like, which is cool. When you look at it, I was like 13. I was like, I still remember this. And I was like, that's crazy, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. And how's your shoulder with grappling? All good?
Oh, my shoulder story. I don't have much time. Basically, I've dislocated it in boxing.
Right.
Then I dislocated it around 13 times after.
13.
Yes. Yeah. I was on the verge when I was waking up with dislocated shoulder.
Right. Okay.
So basically what I did, they tried to give me surgery, and I wasn't doing Jiu Jitsu even there yet. And they tried to give me surgery, and I asked a lot of people around me, they're like, listen, try to heal it, see how you're doing, get stronger, stop drinking, like all this. So I did all those things, went very healthy.
You did it? Okay, you did,
I did very healthy way, stop drinking. Also, I used to work in nightclubs.
Right.
So that's a big part of my life. I've been always in nightclubs, and I done professionally DJing since 2014 to literally September last year. Right. I haven't missed a weekend. So I've been out in nightclubs every fucking weekend. And we're talking about like from Brighton, then you're going to London, Cambridge, Hastings, Eastbourne, like really all around the place. So for me, alcohol and everything was always a big part of my industry, But in 2016, I managed to, straighten everything up and stop drinking, start doing crazy training, really look after myself, and I healed. I healed my shoulder, got stronger. Then I started Jiu Jitsu. In Jiu Jitsu, I've injured it around 4 times, I think. I've dislocated it 4 times in Jiu Jitsu. I was a white belt and I was rolling with one arm. I literally just tying up the belt with my arm, just rolling with one arm like this. Right. I think that's how I developed quite quick to blue belt.
Right.
Because I had maybe my first year of white belt, I did probably like 3 months of that. Just tied up, really belt, just doing gi those days, and just literally doing. So I developed my like a leg game a lot because there was nothing else to use really.
And your brain too, right?
That's what I mean. So like a lot of sweeps, how to guard retention and everything. So I think that could be a reason. But yeah, so after that I trained even harder and started looking at myself even more. And I managed to, in the last 6 years, I managed to have only one partial dislocation.
Right, so that's all right. It's better.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I had meetings with my doctors. They said if I want to fix my shoulder, I need 4 surgeries.
4?
I've got dent in my rotator cuff. I've got torn labrum.
Right.
And I've got liaison slap tear in my bicep.
Oh, okay. So it's all messed up, isn't it?
It's all ice, but I'm just training. I'm just looking after the way I train. Mm-hmm. So I don't wrestle much. Every time I wrestle too long, I get injured. I'm injured right now. I've got like a damaged nerve in my neck. And again, it's kind of the same pattern. When I wrestle, I start feeling stronger. I start wrestling, and I start wrestling in terms of like every round I do everywhere. It's just I start from standing, and that's 2 months after I get an injury.
Yeah.
So for me, like, last 6 months, for example, last 8 months, I was just guard pull, just working on my guard, working on sweeps, working on wrestling up with sweeps, working on, sweeping from leg entanglements, all kind of jazz. Then again, I start feeling stronger, start wrestling, start like from standing. Now I got injured again.
Yeah.
So, with me, my training is always been like a lot of up and down, but I always train. I don't never been off the mat, even injured with whatever's broken, whatever, just always go training. Always can get the guy to mount you and wait there. Like, I don't see any problem with that.
You got to have good training partners as well, don't you? Like, if they can look after.
Yeah, because, as well, you know who you can train with. It's like, usually I've got this like little habit which people can steal. Like, if I go to different gym, which I don't know, I never jump in straight on the mats. I always spend a round or two and just watching people.
Do you? Yeah, clever, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, just sit there, you see them watching, it's like, oh, this guy moves well, okay, he's chill. I was like, this guy is definitely not chilled. I ain't coming to here. So yeah, it's like a little like a tactical, if you're like injured, how to work around it,
Yeah, and it's also like, I've been lucky, touch wood, I haven't had like bad injuries, but like when I've had injuries and stuff like that, I find it's me that hurts myself, because it's like you jump into the rounds, and with the best of intent, but it's like when they get a position, you're like, I got to get there, and that's when I let myself down. Whereas if in reality we're sitting here now, it's not the end of the world, is it? Do you know what I mean? You can just let it happen.
It's not, but I think the injury problem is it's like a part of Jiu Jitsu, everyone says, but it's not talk enough about like how to train really to not injure yourself.
It's true.
Because I think it's just ego driven. If someone is injured a lot, I can put my money. Like if I watch him rolling, I'll be like, okay, this guy is jumping around, he's doing this, he's doing that. Yeah. It's kind of like a common pattern of like the guys are really like trying to fight hard instead of like, doing actually technical work and stuff like this. Of course,
yeah. But tell us about what you do, mate, because I forget who put us in touch now. We got put in touch recently.
I don't remember. You've messaged me when I don't remember.
I don't remember. Maybe I shared a story. I might have shared a story. I think I shared one of your stories, actually.
One of my, like a video when I do about lighting and stuff like this.
Because it wasn't Dom, like Dominic Dillon we talked about. Shout out to Goblin Animal.
Yeah, shout out to Goblin.
But like, we know him separately. I didn't realise you knew him and stuff
like
that.
Okay, he gave me my brown belt with John. So like,
brilliant.
That's like a lot of respect and, a lot of looking up to those guys.
He's a great guy. He showed me the ninja choke.
He developed my game a lot as well, man. Ninja choke, the empty guard. There's lots of like random, like nasty shit.
Well, I don't know if I've told this on here before, but I was saying like I went to train with Dom for a session, like, and we were working on some specific stuff I was asking him before, and then there was one day I kind of showed up and I said like, can we have a little bit of a flow roll and like you tell me and I, whatever.
Yeah.
And we started rolling. He put me in this ninja choke.
Yeah.
And when first of all you're like, cool, I'm not going to fight too hard because it's like I did defend, but like stuck. All right, cool. And then it was another like we went again, and like within 30 seconds I'm back in it. And this time I'm like, no fucking way, I can't get done. And I fought for my life. I must have been stuck there for about 3 minutes, and then I had to tap anyway. But it was so tight and so good. I was like, mate, I just got to learn from this guy.
Yeah, ninja choke is good because it's like it's one of them submissions where people it's still kind of new.
Yep.
So like a lot of people might even seen it on, might seen it on Instagram and stuff, but they didn't experience it. So it's one of those.
No, it's one of the ones on Instagram. Like if I saw it anyway, I don't know about anyone else, but if I saw it on Instagram, I go, that ain't gonna work. Do you know what I mean? But like when he put me in it, I was like, I'm
yeah,
stuck.
it's cool, and it's like I do a lot of action ninja chokes. I do a lot of like my whole game is around the basically arm chokes. Like darts, anacondas. I've been playing with shallow darts a lot at the moment.
Okay.
Ninja and like. I attack neck a lot, and I try to get something out of that. But yeah, with ninja choke, it's like sometimes people will be like trying to push you, and they leave the neck, push, and they're like, it doesn't feel anything. He goes to his knees, you just squeeze it, done.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm squeezed, but I've got my arms in here. I should be okay.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah. Well, that was the thing with Dom. Like, obviously, I know he's a ridiculous level, but it's like he's significantly smaller than me, right? And when he had this position, it was almost like I think I'm okay to win like half a second. I'm dead here. I've got to fight. So I was so impressed with that one, and from that, I've been like working on it, developing it. We've done some more sessions where he showed me like the specifics, but like I can't recommend him enough. Anyone's got the chance to train with Dom.
Same, yeah, train with Dom, man. Get it. He's just got different name. This guy's he's coming from martial arts. Since he's 4, and the odd shit he's got, which is sometimes even with John we're talking over, like we watch something, it's like,
yeah,
what was that?
Great. Well, I can't. We did a podcast maybe a year and a half ago when we first met, me and Dom, before I trained with him. I did his class and that, but other than that, I haven't really trained with him properly. And he's got, I don't know how many belts. He's got like so many black belts, isn't it? I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say he's got 7 martial arts black belts.
He could be like, he will be some like judo, taekwondo, something.
Yeah, he's got all kinds, on and on and on. And we were sitting there and he couldn't even remember one, I think, at one point. And then he came out, like just a total martial artist. He's fought in the cage.
I love having a guy around. The fact that, I got it, I'm under like John and Dom is like always.
That means something. That means a lot.
It means a lot, yeah, because I feel, when I always think like, when you get the belt, the higher belts, the blue belt was nothing, purple was nothing, but the brown belt, when I got one, is like, it feels like, oh, fuck. That's how I felt. And, I saw a video of the guy on Instagram. He got his belt some after competition, and that was his reaction. He was like, fuck, no.
Oh, really?
And I think it's like, for me, just personally, it's a lot of responsibility for me,
Yeah.
Because if these guys believe in me, I have to, and to be honest with you, because I've got my brown belt, it saved my ass in terms of like training a lot. Because I always have this responsibility. Like these 2 people believe in me, they think I'm worth it, and they they invested in me, in terms of like it's investment basically. So I gotta fucking go. So I never, thankfully for that, I never had any problems with turning up to training. Always I'll be out there, always just doing it,
Yeah, well, I mean, when you get belts under people like that, they're legit belts, aren't they? Not that everyone's not a legit belt, but you know what I'm saying? Like I've never had the pleasure to train with John, but the man fought in the UFC, so you know what I mean? He carries weight.
John is different animal. Yeah. Trust me, he's a different animal. He's been, I always say it because we usually train. Sometimes John will get sick because he got some stuff going on. He's been healthy for a while now, but I remember when he was off the mat for like 3-4 months. When he got back and I rolled with him, I was like, fuck, I forgot how horrible you are, man.
Yeah.
It's got different squeeze, different game, the resting game and like control game. It's just cooking system.
Is that right?
That's what we call it. We do cooking system,
Yeah, that's interesting. And like when you get people that have sort of trained for a long time, I do feel like there's a power in taking time off. Obviously, not forced time off. You don't like injury or sickness or something. It's not fun. And I don't mean necessarily months on end, but I do think we're all guilty of like training too much, too long, too hard. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I feel like if you just take sort of, even like say a month of not stopping training necessarily, but sort
just
of like, I'm not going to spar hard, I'm not going to go crazy, and you sort of play the game. Not that I do this, by the way, but it's like, I do think it's beneficial. I do think there's a lot to that because I've been around a lot of people that do that. And when they come back, you get that experience. You're like, you're better than you was before you went away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to be honest with you, if this volume of training is like, I've seen for myself, like I used to do 6 times a week. I used to be like, now kind of, I'm growing older, I've got business. And so I had to drop it. It's not possible because I'm not making a living out of jiu-jitsu, So I had to make decisions. I need to grow business. I can still train. It's not a problem, But the volume went down. And honestly, sometimes I think like I will do 4 or 5 sessions is my minimum. The worst is 3, Right. I'd already drop it for below 3. I always make it. But sometimes I think if I get ill, for example, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to drop, I'm going to do like, like just 1 session, or I'm just in pain. When I come back,
the mind is so fresh, my body is so fresh, I never felt better.
Yeah.
I feel like I developed the most from injuries. Like now, I've been, because I've got damaged nerve in my neck. It was like, I didn't feel my thumb for like a week, It's a little silly thing, but I know you can't train basically. But now I'm back in training this week, and like everything is just like, everything is slow motion. Whatever I roll with everyone, I'm so focused, so like rested. Like I have to think of how to not injure myself. So that gives you a lot of like, very like just hyper focus basically. The way we roll, the way I systemize everything, the way I do. So like I was always laughing like I develop the most with like injuries.
There's a lot to that. Like I tell you, I had one recently. I kicked a shin in sparring, hard, and it's like. I didn't need that.
Didn't
but like,
sign up
to the
for
point
this,
where anytime anything comes near it, it's like yo, don't touch it. So I haven't thrown kicks for a while, and today was the first time in sparring. I was moving around a little bit, and I was like, I felt good enough. So I threw not a crazy kick, but I threw a kick, and it's like where I've been working around that. It's almost like it opens more doors in your brain. Whether it has physically, it doesn't matter. There's like an interest of like. I can see because I can't use that. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to use this, man. That, and over there, and there's a lot to that. I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think like for me, as I said to you, in gi when I was white belt, the fact I was tying up my arm and training with it in the gi, I think it developed so much without me knowing. I wanted to train. I was like, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna tie it up. I'm just gonna go. I saw on YouTube guys doing it. I was like, I can do it. Just like so I turned up and I trained like this for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's so Pedro's tip of the day, guys. If you're a white belt, just tuck your hand in your belt.
That's it, man. Honestly, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think I think honestly, trust me. Like the injuries will help you develop, but you need to be clever also when you do what you train.
Well, that's it. You got to accept it, right? You got to accept that you're injured.
You have to be like, okay, well, listen, I can't wrestle up. I might be getting smashed today. I might be getting mounted a lot. Maybe someone will try to take my arm, but like, it's okay, man. I'm just gonna work on this one thing, and just gonna carry down for the whole match.
That's funny, that's funny. But tell us about this place, mate, Umbra. So, like, how did this come about?
So Umbra has been. I think John had Umbra for a little while in here. They moved in here. I don't know. Don't want to lie, maybe like 2018 or something. And I joined in here after lockdown.
Okay.
So in lockdown, the original gym when I used to train, it was very gi heavy. In lockdown, I shouldn't say that, but in lockdown we trained a lot.
What? Oh, you're outrageous.
In train a lot of gi, and in no gi, sorry. In train a lot of no gi, and when it's all kind of, lifted, we went back to my gym, and it was just gi sessions. And I did like 3, I'm like, bro, this ain't for me. And I've met John once, and I've heard about John, and I look into the guy, and I'm like, bro, I think this is the guy I need to be around. I think he's special, he's got something different about him, like in terms of like training, he's super nice. That's what he used to be called, a gentleman,
Yeah, that's right.
And so, it just came here, and not gonna lie to you, I used to cycle here from Brighton.
Right, okay. And how far is that from Brighton? How far are we from here?
It's a 50-minute cycle.
Right, it's enough. It's a workout.
Oh, man. I used to wear this My Zone. You know the My Zone?
Yeah.
I wear Whoop now, so it's easier. But I used to wear My Zone. I would do 4,000 calories from cycling here, wrestling, and fly cycling back.
Right. It's a day.
So it was, honestly, it was a shift. And listen, I used to get cooked. When I say cooked, it's manhandling every session.
Right.
You get manhandled. It's just like, it's not even like I get smashed. You just get manhandled. You got nothing to give.
And what are you at this point? Blue belt back then?
Blue belt, yeah. But blue belt from gi, and like, John is, John's style is wrestling style, MMA style, a lot of control. Not many risk taking. MMA style is not risk taking, Right. It's like you need to control, you need to come like technical, you need to do this and that. So you just get cooked, man. And not gonna lie, I was vegetarian by then.
Oh.
Coming to here and getting cooked made me start eating meat.
Is that right? You went home, you got like a steak hanging at your mouth.
Yeah, literally, man. Listen, I'm talking about coming back from literally in tears on my bicycle. So it was hard start. It was hard, to start in here because the level, But then slowly, it start going up. Obviously, there's a lot of there's big MMA section in here. I train here only in daytime. It's a bit different section, and they got quite few MMA guys. Obviously, the MMA training is amazing as well, and they do quite a lot of competitions. There's few young nice prospects as well. Training is great. There's always cool guys around here. Midday sessions are fairly busy, but not too busy as well, which is cool. We just work, man.
Nice.
We come in here. Everyone will throw some kind of oh, I saw this, I was working on this, what do you think about that? Like John will show a couple techniques, we like brainstorm together. So, you know, it's always people are involved in everything.
I like that,
which
yeah.
is like, yeah, it's just a cool gym, cool people to be around. And, you know, the level, that everyone who comes and visiting, they're like, it was always like, oh, fuck, that was a fucking tough mat in here. Because everyone wrestles here.
Right.
Everyone's hard to get down, take down. And obviously, if you're new to Jiu-Jitsu and if I'm going to teach you good wrestling defense, you're going to be fucking pain in the ass to a lot of people.
Yeah, of course you are, yeah.
Because if you have a good wrestling defense, you have a good hip, if you understand like good posture and inside position, man, I can put purple balls in you, and if he's not taking you down, he ain't doing nothing.
Right, yeah.
And that's the, so I find it like, you know, out of guys like here, they might be like, they're not even white belts because they don't get belts in here, pretty much.
Is that right? Yeah, okay.
But, you know, they, even after 6 months, a year, they're just pain in the ass. It's like, you know, you wrestle with them, it's like, oh, I need to actually work really hard for you now to get you down.
Well, it's interesting, like we touched on it a little bit before, like when someone comes in, they're learning from, firstly, a good coach, but also when they're learning specific things, they're not just learning little bits of everything, which not that there's anything wrong with that, but you can develop quick, can't you, man? Like if you're learning specifics very intently with a purpose behind it,
that's so true, man.
You do get people that are really
so true. And I think, you know, wrestling is really the answer for like any kind of early starts, because with good wrestling, if you get good stand-up, and I always tell people that if you wrestle, okay, if you bring me a random guy who's a fairly strong dude with no martial arts experience, it's not going to be easy to take him down. If he got a bit of resistance and fight in him, it's just going to be hard. It's like wrestling is like that. It's just like, doesn't matter. It's even hard to get like a normal dude down. I will get him down, but it's not like in Jiu-Jitsu. If you get me beginner in front of me in my guard, I would like dismantle him, right?
Right.
But in wrestling, it's not that easy. It's not easy to get like a grown-ass adult down.
The first time, especially.
Yeah.
Once you get him down, then it's sort of the second, third, fourth becomes easy.
That's what I mean.
But the first time, you're right. There is something to that. If they're decided they're not going down.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I've got some random dude who is maybe even a boxer, man. I don't know. He knows how to like just handle himself. It's gonna be hard to take him down.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can. I'm not saying no, but like it's gonna be like that's the whole thing about wrestling. It's always a graft.
It's
always
tough sport. I think it's king of sport.
Forward, pressure, hip control, this wrist, he gets up, he just cut the angles, always. So like, you know, and same with the young guys. If they start from wrestling, I used to coach it in Tom's gym as well. So we used to do a no-gi class. I used to coach there for 2 years. So no, I was very heavy on wrestling. I was always half a class. It's hand fighting, getting takedown defense. Nice. And honestly, those guys, the white belts, they used to go to competition and no one can take them down. It's like, they're not amazingly, you know, technically developed, but just from like the little fundamentals of wrestling, no one can take them down because they know what to do. They know how to throw the hip. They know how to get a whizzer. And it's just amazing, man. So if you started that way, it's going to be hard to compete against you because like it's hard to get. When I can't take you down, the jiu-jitsu is, you know, it's not there yet, you know?
Right, yes, avoid that one. But it's funny you say that because I think like there's a lot to what you're saying there about fundamentals for everybody anyway. Like when you learn something, you should learn the fundamentals. Like, I mean, I'm going to oversimplify it, but like boxing, learn how to jab, right? Do you know what I mean? If you can start there,
agree,
but no 100%. One does it. You know what I mean?
No.
Not no one, but like it's rare. People sort of, they take that on board, but they'll go, yeah, that's cool. And then by session 2, 3, and 4, they're on step 7,000. And it's like, whoa.
No, I agree because I do call myself fundamentalist because I believe, because, you know, I've learned quite a lot of skills in my life. You know, I'm a pianist, you know, I do videography, photography, I've done DJing for a long time, you know. And all those things, people are like, oh, you just learned something quick. I was like, I don't. I just look into fundamentals and I stick to them. And the fundamentals will take you anywhere. Like, you know, like if you learn the piano, you need to learn fundamentals, which means you just read the fucking music, how to read music. And from knowing how to read music, from knowing how to read music, you got the independency of like what to do next.
Right, okay.
Because if I learn how to read music and I understand where the keys are, I was like, okay, at this part it takes this, and that, and I can just learn that. When you know, if you miss this fundamental of the like piano, it's gonna be hard because you're gonna just understand like the keys, but you're not gonna study the music behind it.
Yep.
Same with like any, you know, like videography and photography when I started. Fundamentals again. What the guys do. What's composition? Okay, what's this? Okay, let me go and shoot every day and edit every day so I understand like what to do. And jiu-jitsu is the same. Like let's stick to these fundamentals. Then let's don't do this like crazy tricky, like like the not baggy chokes, but like really fancy. I just stick to everything for a long time, and it pays off. And now, like for example, for jiu-jitsu, it's like a lot of these like a new upcoming guys, they will have this like a mad games of like just odd jiu-jitsu, right? It's just a left field, a lot of weird submissions. They never win against someone with fundamentals.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they always get stuff, and they doing amazing in competition on their level as well. We live in purple belt because they got weird stuff. But if someone, as long as someone got good fundamentals, it was always shut it down because all the submissions are like they compromising not compromising fundamentals. Yeah.
But they almost need someone to play their game too, don't they? They need them to play the dance with them to beat them with this tricky thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, I like it. The fundamentalism, I think, is like it's missed. But another thing with grappling is like, and any kind of sports, like you want to have fun as well, right?
Of course you do. Yeah.
So like if
But winning's fun. Listen, if you're choking someone, listen, if I take someone down, basic double leg, pass, arm triangle, and I do that 10 times in a row, that's
it,
fun
man.
to me.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
That's
so
fun.
like there's pros and cons, but yeah, I agree. The fundamentals is the key to everything.
Especially when simple things work, I find that really interesting.
Yeah, what I love about the simple is like simple is not easy. It's like very miscommunicated. When it's like it comes in music a lot of times when you have like a very simple melodies, but they're not easy.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think it's in here in jiu-jitsu especially, like you have some move when you like when someone showed you the move and it's like, oh, that's fucking simple.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you just need to cup and like get this.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. And it's this kind of like a level of this like a skill set when we wire the brain, we're like, oh, I never thought about it. That's so simple, but it's not actually easy to do it, right?
No,
because we never done it.
Right.
So I find it like this, a lot of stuff like this, and it's like this simple moves of like, the simple sweeps and stuff like this. It's really as well like, the way to go. So.
And it's also like the Bruce Lee quote, isn't it? 10,000 kicks once or one kick 10,000.
I do agree with that, yeah.
I agree because like someone who's practiced, even like, it's like if you're underneath someone who's got really good side control, and that's their position. They've practiced it so much. It's not a fancy technique. It's nothing. I can show you it now if you've never done it before, right? But it doesn't mean you're going to be any good at it. And it's like when these people really refine things, I think that there's a lot to that. Like I'll give you an example. Khabib in MMA.
Yeah.
Like what's coming, right? Like I'm not going to beat a dead horse. It's obvious, right? You know what's coming, but you can't do anything about it. I think there's a lot to that, man. I think there's a power there. No,
it is. And with Khabib and stuff and everyone as well. Like you're right. I think. The simple moves, if you master them, even like you say with side control, man, I train with few like what I call seasoned grapplers, when they will be training like 14 years, 15, 20 years, I don't know. And there's something to them when they do have this simple game, but you just can't stop it, man. Yeah. They will have this one pass, pressure pass. Yep. Whatever you do, you just can't fucking stop it, man.
You can't stop it.
And like, you put the guy in side control, he always gets out.
Yep.
And it's simple. It's just a simple thing. You will do here, it will come up on the elbow, but you just can't do anything. You try all the kind of stuff to pin in control and like getting hip or whatever, but it just doesn't work.
It doesn't matter.
It's totally agree with that.
And I tell you, I've had experiences with so many different times where when you get to your position and you're like, right, I'm good now, thank God. But this person's such a specialist that whatever it is, fill in the blank, and it's like I haven't got it because he's so good at whatever. Fitting, maybe I'm butchering it, but you get where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
He's so good at X, Y, Z, it's not working anyway. And like I tell you, I train judo with Olympic silver medalist, right? He's Ray Stevens, shout out Ray, he's been on, check out his episode, great guy. Great coach too, as in separate from how good he is at judo, he's also a great coach.
Yeah, that's so
Fifth
important.
Degree black belt under
yeah.
Roger Gracie, beast, right?
Yeah.
But he said something once in a class about like the top guys in judo in the world, a lot of them. He said most of them have 3 moves. That's it. They're just really obviously in judo there's not endless, but there's an awful lot of moves, right? But he was like they have 3 moves, and they I was at a judo seminar once with Jimmy Pedro and Travis Stevens, both Olympic medalists, and someone asked a question, and he was very honest. The answer came back. He was like, "It's not my speciality," and then you could feel there was a bit of confusion in the room of like, "But you're an Olympic," but he was basically saying like, "I do this, this, and this, and it works every time." I don't.
It's funny you say that because I think this is like a modern kind of approach to everything you do in life. Really, if something works for you, just rinse it. Just kind of like
I agree.
Just keep doing it.
I agree.
If you could, that does. Obviously, with jiu-jitsu, I think I like to go to waves of like working on my dust, then working on my shallow dust, then we'll start working on something new. Now I'm working on like a wrestle ups from a shin and shin. So I go like in a lot of waves, and I think for jiu-jitsu that's what's really, if you're not competing, because I don't compete at the moment, I think that's the way to develop for me. But if you compete, you just need to polish your fucking tool, isn't it?
Do you think it's sort of going into training with an idea of what you want to work on, and that's what you're working on?
I always do that.
That's what you always
do.
do?
For me, that's what I do. Even if I rock up, even not do technique, because sometimes I rock up to like just do sparring, you know, respectfully.
Yeah.
I still like I got some stuff in my head. It's just the way I am. I'm like quite like, you know, like we can say like ADHD. I need to have some like purpose in what stuff I do and stuff like this. So, but I do waves. I do waves in like weeks or months, I would say. Even, you know what, with my food, I eat stuff. I have like a 3-4 months of like pattern.
Do you?
Yeah, at the moment I'm on rice, beef, avocado and sour cream.
Ooh. And that's it?
That's it, every day.
Well, it's funny because I had a similar conversation. It sounds like we've got a lot of commonalities here, bro.
Yeah,
Like separated at birth or something. But I basically eat meat and fruit, right?
Yeah, that's the way.
Don't really eat vegetables. And like when you say that to some people, they go, oh, yeah. But listen, I feel good on it. I've got great energy. I typically eat once a day. Big, obviously, massive portion.
Yeah.
And then that feels good for me. So I do it, you know what I mean? Again, going back to the simple thing, not that I'm trying to sound like a dummy, but it's like, if I feel good on it, I don't want to sort of overthink it, because you can always read things that contradict, right? You can always read, eat 6 meals a day, eat 1 meal a day, fast for a day.
It's like, and you also got like, oh, need this kind of calories, need this kind of that. I always listen to my body.
Yep.
I do follow only protein. I think protein is something where like you always need kind of like overlook, you know?
Yeah.
But like, you know, the calories, I know some people, they will like, oh, I eat 3,000 calories. I do this and that. I was like, I prefer just eat like, you know, what my body feels like, you know. And also like, it's natural of like, if I have a hard training, I know I need to have a bigger meal after that, you know.
Yeah.
But with food, again, like I was saying, like waves of everything. Like I'm just on my beef and rice. And before I was on my rice and broccoli, and like, and like, it just goes in waves. And in training as well, training, I find it like, at the moment I've been stuck to my wrestling lap from shin on shin for quite long. I would say this is like our 2nd month of just working it out. Nice. And it's basically, I just, every time I, you know, if I got pull guard, I just get to shin on shin straight away. As much as I can. And I just work from there. And you know, the thing is, if I have guys who have a really good guillotine, for example, really good like an arm choke or something like with John, I would try to get my head out there to see what they do. Right. And you know, like if they get me, they get me. But then the second time I've got something to work with, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of, if I got good guys who got some leg locks, you know, I would try to, you know, sweep him and get his leg, for example, from shin on shin. And then see what he's doing. It's kind of like a developing like.
But that's where the ego thing comes in, because it's easy to roll with a leg locker and avoid the leg. Not easy, but you know what I'm saying. Like if I know you're a big time leg locker, and if I'm at a certain level, I can avoid your leg lock somewhat, right? Whereas it's like, there is much more benefit to just fucking stick your leg. If he taps you.
Oh yeah, it's just, no, I don't want to like brag about myself or anything, but I'm just like super like chilled in terms of that. Like I will always only get pissed off if I pissed off. Yeah, we can say if someone like taps me 5 times in one round, like Dom. I'll be angry.
Don't hurt your feelings, mate.
As much as I love you, man, I'm pissed off, okay?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, with John Cook me, like, he would tap me 3 times in a row in one round. It's like, this is frustrating, but if anyone catch me on some stuff in like, you know, once or twice, I don't care, man.
Yeah. But you shouldn't either, should you? You shouldn't.
But I think the only, in terms of like, I think speaking of like dominance in kind of levels and stuff like this, I think there's 2 things I do. If someone taps me and I can't tap him back in the same submission, that means like he might have a superior level to me. Because usually when I get tapped with something, I will straight away try to go for the same submission.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So like it's just something in my head I try to do. You know, like if someone get me in triangle, I would try to pull guard and try to get me to the triangle, like try to give it back. Or like, you know, you armbar me, okay, I'll try to get some underhook, some kind of like arm drag, you be behind, try to get the armbar, you know, from the back.
So if I ever get an armbar on you, I just spend the rest of the round like this, like stay over there.
So that's the thing. And second thing is of, you know, being tapped multiple times, which is like, you know, if this is, you got gaps in your game, someone is really good on analyzing your game and basically finding a gap and fucking you up. Or generally someone is just more experienced with you, and you know, it's give you something to work on, you know. And it's like I think if there shouldn't be like any kind of like hard feelings when you get tapped, unless you are tapped like 5 times in a round. Then you can get emotional. But if you just get caught, if you put it out yourself, if like we're saying, like, you know, someone like really wants my leg, I say, I'll give you my leg. Okay, let's see from here what we got, you know.
Right.
And I'll say, oh, it's too late. Okay, fuck. That's a tight ankle lock, man. Cool. I ain't give you my leg again.
Right.
That's kind of my approach, and like you know, just giving things, like seeing what's what. And with new people it's a bit frustrating because I usually like super chilled when I start, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can go my leg. But there's a lot of people who like don't roll, and they'll be like, whoa, okay,
Easy now, easy,
cool, man.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I get the vibe now.
Yeah.
We need to put it on. But generally, I like to just start like, that's how you control this. Even if you got spazzy people, if you start really relaxed, you will set the pace.
Okay.
I believe it works for me. But
Yeah.
you know, I know this guy is really spazzy. I know he's like quite strong. He runs a lot. I can still set the pace because I'm going to be relaxed. Even if I let him pass my guard, I'm setting the pace, and you'll be like, oh, he's like quite chill. So like, it's like, okay, maybe I'll relax as well. You know?
Yeah,
that's from my
an
experience,
interesting
you know.
That's an interesting way, because I had a friend actually who was good guy, brown belt, and he was getting not tapped, but he was getting injured by beginners a lot and stuff because he was very relaxed. And I said, mate, first of all, set the tone. Like, get a hold of him, sub him quick, calm him down, and then play the game a little bit, because he was having like a problem of, like, you know, his big toe would be fucking twisted or something, you know what I mean? And stuff like that, like the silly things that they're not like big injuries, but they affect, don't they? You know what I mean? If you've got a bad finger and you can't grab it, you don't need these injuries. And But I tell you what, take back a step. Like, when you started jiu-jitsu, you kind of covered it a little bit, but like, what was the idea when you started jiu-jitsu? Was you thinking about fighting MMA, or what was the deal there?
No, I already was so injured, man. I was like, I need
Right,
something to fight. I need something to fight, because I've been born to like fight, and that's where I'm coming from. Like, from Poland, we always scrapped, and you always been fighting there. You gotta fight. You gotta protect your family. You gotta be strong. Like, you know, all this kind of masculinity stuff. You know, which I'm thankful. I was raised like that. You know, and it was just honestly, I went there. I got like just tangled by like some 15-year-old half my weight, and I was just like so in love with that. I was like, that was so good. I thought I'm like, with my striking, I'm quite strong. I do a lot of functional work in the gym, so I'm very functional. So I'm stretched, like blah blah blah. Nothing, man. I just like, as a white belt, you know, it's the first time. He's like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Guy just grabbed me, swept me. I was like, I don't have anything. Boy, he grabbed me. He's on my back. So idea was just to, like, you know, just got tunnel vision, man. Tunnel vision, and I want to learn this. I want to fight like this way, because this is like, wow, very impressed. Never got MMA. I'm still like kind of like looking, but I was like, I wish, because I love MMA myself. I'm quite like, you know, I'm quite nerd in general. So I do like, because I'm with John, we're also in like helping in an MMA camp with like one of the like a really good MMA guys. So I'm around MMA guys. I do a lot of grappling MMA.
Nice.
And I just love it. It's different. It's like, do you know what? It's like, for me, it's just another like a dimension, you know, for grappling, for fighting. And I love doing those sessions, because it's like, you know, okay, the rounds with ground and pound, cool. You know, half guard, pow, he got his undergo. Oh, you're getting smashed. I was like, oh.
Don't relax.
I tried to get up, but he's like, bah. So it's like, you know, discovering leg locks.
Yeah.
When you, because when I started jiu-jitsu, there was no leg locks, you know, still. Really? And I think when I started doing no gi, it was this like is that 2017? I think that's like a biggest, like when there's leg locks, Danaha, just skyrocket, right?
Yeah, somewhere around.
And you know, you like, if you think you know a few bits of jiu-jitsu, but then you like, you just get this like, your legs like, I was like, oh, fine, I don't.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, what's going on? It's like whole new dimension opens the roadmap of grappling. And that's what I look like on, you know, on MMA. Because obviously I've got some hands, so like, I don't feel like dangerous. Like, I don't feel like you're defenseless, you know? So yeah, but in terms of you answering your questions, there was no plan of like what we're gonna do. We just carry on training, carry on getting better, because that's what I really do, you know? Just everything getting better. Yeah. And just like, this is the sport that I have to be around. I got this gut feeling. I was like, those are really cool guys. They're all like healthy. You know, this like, all like just, you know, with cauliflowers looking cool, man. I was like, this is really cool environment, man. Yeah. And especially that was, you know, stop drinking as well. So it was like a very good timing of like, you know, this is so healthy, man.
Still no drinking now? Still?
Yeah, so my relationship with alcohol is always like, you know, funny.
I do have like I used to call it blowouts, like once a year, twice a year maybe. It's really difficult because I've been in nightclub industry for so long that it put a lot of like, it just normalized a lot of things in my life.
Yes.
Because you're surrounded by like drunks and drugs every fucking weekend. And even my girlfriend always like, she when I do gigs and she watches me, she's like, how'd you do it? Like, because I can go to like the biggest, busiest like rave with like loud music, people like, like fucking dancing. And I'm just sober, and I'm just like, I'm not there. I'm being part of it, sober, So she was always like, how can you do that? I was like, it's just in my DNA, But with alcohol, like, yeah, it's very periodically, man. Really, it's like trying to keep like, every year I would be like 7 months sober, then I have a drink. Yeah. Like this kind of like, stuff. And also like for jiu-jitsu, when I started, I was still like doing a bit of boozing. Fucking hard work, man. You come to Saturday class, you're getting smashed hangover, man. Also, you stink because people are like, bro, you smell. Who want to train with that? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I was always no be a big part of my life, luckily,
Yeah.
Like for help probably jiu-jitsu as well too, just develop and be healthy and like never, because when you drink, if you're gonna get smashed on the weekend, on Monday you're gonna come back like just 2 steps back. You know?
Oh, you see it a lot, don't you? People on the mat, and like Monday session's not good for them. By Thursday they're back, and then
then on Friday you're feeling sharp, but then Monday again it's like, oh, I slept well. I was like, definitely.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, but you said you're an MMA fan. You're a big like UFC guy. You watch all that stuff.
Not a big fan. I'm more of like I'll watch matches because there's some cool stuff happens, some cool grappling exchanges.
Right.
I might write something down, then I'll go to John to ask. I'll try to implement something to my game in jiu-jitsu, like more from like grappling perspective, not like a big fan of like like watching every weekend or going to matches, but I do in terms of like from a grappling angle and grappling and wrestling angle. I like just technicality really of like some cool. If there's some like mad match, obviously like when the guys are swinging and like someone gets knocked out, like I might rewatch it, next day.
Course.
But if I see there's someone being put in like an amazing grappling videos, like I'll watch it and analyze. I'll be like, oh fuck, that was cool, man. Let me screenshot this.
Do you grapple with the MMA gloves on at all?
I mean, when we do work with MMA guys, always.
It's different, isn't it? It is different. Like people don't realize.
It's great.
Like pure jiu-jitsu guys that I've spoke to that have never done it. I don't think they've kind of compute how different it is. Like positions, like even just simple things like getting your hand out sometimes is different.
So because you got 2 types of gloves, which I've got here. You got one which is like a grappling MMA gloves, like very tight. You can't really strike with them because you can break cheekbones really quick. And then you got second one, you got like just proper sparring ones, so they big. So they are very bad to grapple with. And it's just different, man. Like if you add 100 pounds to it, jiu-jitsu changes so much because there's so many, there's so many positions. Like if you have a roadmap of these positions, they become like this. You can only get up in 4 ways, not in like a 15, because you just get smashed basically.
There's no relaxing underneath, is there?
Yeah, there's no like there's no like chilling in a turtle too much,
turtle's probably worse position.
Yeah, so like if someone's open something, the strikes are coming in, especially like half guard is very good, fairly good. Yeah. But again, like the mount, gone. You're gone, man. In mount, you're gone from if you're on the bottom, obviously. Yeah. So it's just like it's another like a dimension, as I said, and I love it. I don't want to carry on. Obviously, I'm old. Well, I'm not old, but my body feels like.
Come on.
My body feels like if I do hard session with like a really good guys. I need to rest.
But is that more an injury thing with your shoulder?
No, I think just my body, man. Like my recovery. I'm just very self-aware. Also, I wear Whoop, so I do a lot of analytics. I'm quite nerdy that way as well. I see how my body recovers and stuff like this on my resting heart rates. And I can see like, my body is really going through it, So I rather like just look after this like good recovery. I'll go to sauna, ice bath, I go for a run on treadmill, like this kind of. Yeah. So just looking at this, but I feel like jiu-jitsu doesn't tire me that much. I can do like pretty hard jiu-jitsu like most days,
Yeah, that's cool.
But once if you got add the resting to it.
It's different, isn't it? On your feet, it's different. When you're on your feet, I find is a very taxing on the system, isn't it?
Especially like a lot of like an MMA and a lot of like wrestling as well. It's all about just getting up, right? Cool. And if you grapple wrestler, it's all about him getting up and not getting up. So then it's again. A lot of people you hear them was like, oh, he's got MMA style grappling. Like, I really like it. It's like, yeah, because
every single MMA guy will try to get up at every little single moment.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lesson in that. Maybe you should, even if you're not doing MMA.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm so also intrigued by it, because I can see good guys, technical guys, strong guys, they'll have that pattern when, like, you know, you can't hold them down too long.
Right.
And it's always like they will get in here, bam, bam, bam. They're already on one foot. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, it's just got to control the guy, because like if he's on one foot, he's gonna put hip through. He's now tripoding. He's up, man. So it's like, fuck, you know. And I find this is like big value and lesson for me of like always just get up, man.
Yeah. Just get up. There's nothing in the DVD somewhere. Just get up.
No, but honestly, I think there's like a big when someone says, oh, he's got like MMA grappling style, it means like he just wrestles up a lot.
Yeah.
And you can't pin him down, basically.
Yeah,
which is a cool way to grapple, because like it's just another like layer to it. Whereas like, you know, in Jiu Jitsu we thought like, you know, like okay, I'm gonna take it down. Okay, let me chill here for a minute, you know.
There's no chill. People are punching. There ain't no chill. Don't be
There's
chilling.
no chill.
Don't be chilling there. Don't be chilling there.
Yeah, so I think so, yeah. It's very intriguing, I would say, as a sportsman. And I want to carry on. Because, you know, like, on the level I do even now, once a week with some boys somewhere, I do some stuff.
Well, we'll sit down here in 10 years' time still telling stories, man. Like, still feeling
Fucking
young.
let's
But
go,
when you
man.
first started, was John still fighting in the UFC? Or already sort of just wrapped up?
I didn't know John when he was fighting in the UFC.
You did, yeah.
I did hear of him, saw some photos. But I was not into like MMA and then like grappling that much, and into MMA. So I know it's just John guy. But then I looked into it after, and I was like, "Fuck! I think that's the guy that needs to be around." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've only joined here in 2021.
Oh, you said, sorry, yeah, past the lockdown. So, yeah, that was after his time.
So he was, so he was after. I'm not sure when he had his last fight, but. Yeah, it's been like 10 years, probably, or 9 years.
It's been that long, yeah. It goes fast, doesn't it? I remember him fighting. I remember watching his fights in the UFC as it was happening. And it's,
he did have 2 fights not a while ago as well.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did have. He fought in Octagon.
Oh, okay,
No,
I didn't realise. Yeah, I know Octagon. Yeah, I didn't realise that. Okay.
He did find that. Now he's coaching. He's coaching a lot of really good guys. I can't say names, but he's around like really good high level guys.
Is he, yeah?
Where he should be, you know, because the level of the stuff he's got, and he has like his catch style for MMA. It's just
because he's still relatively young too, right? He's still in 30s.
Oh, my age, yeah.
Yeah.
We're 38, yeah.
Yeah. Young man, really, isn't it?
Young
Like,
man.
You're trying to convince me it's old, but I'm not.
No, I was saying I'm old. It was like, I laugh because like I can see like in a round, if you do competitive rounds, I've got like only a certain amount of scrambles in me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's why I always laugh. I was like, I'm old now, man. I can't do like some guys do like scramble after scramble. I've got like 5 scrambles. If I got first 2, I need to strategize what I'm doing for the rest of the round. You know?
Okay. Is that right?
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I approach it like this because like sometimes I do like 3-4 scrambles in a round, and then I'm like, it's too much, man. And what did you do, Pedro? Why are you letting it go?
Really?
Let's get more technical, man.
Mate,
Come
you
on,
stay
you
over
can
there
do
because
it.
I don't feel that yet. I still feel young. I told someone I was 21 the other day. They asked me how old are you? I said 21 and kind of winked. And they laugh, you know, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, ain't that funny, bro? Why you laugh so much?
Yeah.
But I guess I can't get away with being 21 anymore. But that's a story for another day.
No, I'm just laughing. You know, it's all for jokes, man. You know, what I mean, it's not like I feel like old. It's always like.
I feel like a lot of us in here too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, listen, I don't feel old. I'm like a kid in my spirituality and my like mindset is like is being a child. That's why I'm like so playful with everything, and on the mats as well. But there's like a realism as well of like you cannot like you need to, because I think a lot about longevity of what I do, and I know when my cap is now of everything,
Well, there's also a reality too. Like I said before, about 10 years sitting here, I want to still be on the mat in 20 years. I'm sure you do too, right?
And I believe those little decisions, they have a big impact after,
Well, it's like leaving the last round sometimes, I think. And I don't think that's an age thing. I
Man,
think that's an injury
I've
thing.
injured myself like 3 times going an extra round.
Everyone does.
I ain't fucking doing this no more.
It's always when you get injured, right?
But
When
do you know what it
fall
is?
down.
It's your body. Your body tells you to stop.
Yep.
And like we need to listen to our
And then
bodies
someone
more.
over there goes, "Do you want one more?" And you go,
I say,
"Oh,
yeah,
all right then."
okay.
And it's like, that's when you pull so, and that's not an age thing. Like I've
No,
been
it's
that
not,
in
but
my early
it's-
20s that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like I didn't need to do that one. I didn't want to do that one, and because he asked me, I was like, "Yeah,
I don't
okay,
want to
one
just
more."
say no.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like I think those little decisions they have a big impact on longevity, like going further of like leaving the first round or like not doing this like crazy scrambles. This guy like scramble, okay, I'm just gonna, pull guard, get him into my half guard, gonna go from there, like trying to work on that. Right. So like just things like this. But also for me, it's the shoulder, man. It's the shoulder. It's been like last year when I dislocated the first time again after 5 years of being okay. Again, I started wrestling for 2 months. I felt start feeling stronger. Went to a few MMA classes. Started doing a bag once a week. And yeah, I was rolling with my mate. Got in head and arm, squeezed, and it came out. Just from literally head and arm. And because I squeezed, my elbow is higher of my shoulder, and I squeezed, and it literally came out. So like, see, that's what I mean. Like my training is always going to be like, a lot of people won't be able to relate because of how I need to work around things, you know.
But to be honest, a lot of people wouldn't have bothered. A lot of people would have done jiu-jitsu for a couple of months and gone, I got a bad shoulder, and stopped, and you'd have never got past like white belt stage, right? So
yeah, the inner bitch, the inner bitch is there, and it's like, we need to know how to.
You need to keep going.
Joke it, man.
Keep moving forward. But mate, listen, this has been brilliant.
Thank you, man. Really good chat, bro.
Man,
really good chat.
I'll come down. We'll do some training, man, because listening to you would be great. I'd love to come down.
No, listen, need to meet John.
Yes.
And, just like...
Let's get him on the podcast. Let's hear it from him.
I'll chat to you. He's already busy at the moment, but we can probably set something up in the
all
next
right, mate.
few
Before we finish, I don't know if you've seen any of these. Most important question I'm going to ask you all day. And this is important, relevant going forward. This might affect our training sessions. Which football team do you support?
Oh, man. So there's the thing, yeah. I'm not into football.
Chelsea, very good. Thanks for coming.
No. I tell you, I'll carry on. I'll carry on.
Okay.
I don't like football. I used to be a football fan back at home, but in Poland, in my hometown, we have 2 teams.
Okay.
And they white and red, and I'm from the white team. I've always been.
Who's the team?
LKS.
Okay.
And I always say in football, always go with white guys, which is of Chelsea. Because I always felt like Chelsea because representative from my hometown team.
Okay.
So we same had reds, the money or whatever. We got Widzew there in the hometown. But I always said, so whenever people ask me, it's Chelsea as well.
Very good. There you go. We went a long way, but we got it. My man, you can stay. But as I say, mate, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I always finish with a fist up like this.
Let's go.
Squeeze the neck.
Fucking go.
Boom.